Joanne Tierney is the development manager of the Irish Chamber Orchestra, and I'm keen to find out exactly what does a development manager do, and why is the role so important to the Irish Chamber Orchestra as an organisation?
So essentially, for anyone watching, what it involves is developing relationships with funders, with donors, whether they be individual or institutional, and trying to convey to them, tell them the story of the wonderful work that Irish Chamber Orchestra does in communities here in Limerick City through Sing Out With Strings and the Irish Chamber Orchestra Youth Orchestra. And then looking at it from a further lateral perspective, the reason why the role of a development manager is so important is that, you know, you're developing out a fundraising strategy that you're hoping and you're committing to achieving a sustainable social change together with the funders, and also you want to make sure that that's aligned with the organisational strategy, so everything is moving simultaneously in pursuit of Irish Chamber Orchestra's mission and vision, which is in relation to our community outreach work to change children's lives through music.
Now, 21 in 23. This is a vital campaign, but I know the orchestra started this campaign in 21, so it was called 21 in 21. I want to know some of the results of this. I know that the funding goes towards our outreach programs, but can you tell me some of the success stories, some of the really important work that the orchestra's done?
Absolutely. So with 21 in 23, it's a regular online giving campaign. So it facilitates every year that donors and also corporates can make a donation of €250 or more. That donation can grow under the government's charitable donation scheme and directly make an immediate impact on the ground in our two partnering schools in Limerick City and through the youth orchestra, through the provision of free string instrumental and choral lessons. So what does that really look like to bring it to life for yourself and those who are watching? So last year I had the privilege and the pleasure of visiting one of our partnering schools, and I was there with a potential funder who became a funder ultimately, Siobhan Gallagher, Executive Director of the Ireland Funds. And there was a young boy, I'd say probably 4th class he was in, and he was demonstrating to us. He had composed a piece of music. Oh, wow. And there was an inspiration running alongside, a story alongside it, and you know, he was bringing the other children along with him, leading them in performing this piece for us. And I remember turning to Siobhan and I said, you know, what have we been doing with our lives? It's quite an incredible thing to witness. So when you support 21 and 23, that 21 campaign, that is exactly what you're doing in terms of making a direct, a sustainable, long-term impact in a child's life in terms of their confidence, in terms of unlocking their creativity, in terms of how they see themselves as well in the world, and you know, stepping into their own confidence and supporting them in their musical journey. And then another story that I would really love to share, I was in the second of our partnering schools towards the end of last year, and we were delivering a Meet the Musician workshop. And so our guys, members of Irish Chamber Orchestra, were there to meet with the children and show them different instruments and, you know, how to play them. And one little girl, she would have been about 5, I would say at the time, she stood there with her little violin looking up at one of our guys, a professional musician, and she said, "I think you're really good." And that's, you know, there are measurable impacts, Matthew, in terms of metrics, and they're extremely important. You know, when I'm communicating back to funders how, together with Irish Chamber Orchestra, they're affecting real change. But then there are these beautiful, you know, stories in the interim that in the background that you don't see, you know, and they're really, for me, they're really what matters the most.
So if I wanted to get involved in 21 in 23, what do I actually have to do?
Well, all you have to do, it's really simple. So you can visit our website, www.irishchamberorchestra.com, and sign up online, or indeed people are welcome to drop me an email, joanne.tierney@ul.ie, and I'll talk them through the very simple process. And immediately, you know, as I've said, your funds, their donation, can make that lasting difference and that lasting change in how children see themselves in the world and experience, you know, fun and joy through music.
Mm-hmm. And are there any other ways that people can get involved in supporting the orchestra from a fundraising point of view? Obviously coming to concerts and hearing us play, but from a fundraising point of view, small businesses, large companies, are there ways that they can partner with the orchestra if they're thinking about making a difference?
Absolutely. So the way that I've developed out our fundraising function is that there's something there to meet everybody's needs in terms of how somebody might get involved. So, you know, there are corporate partnerships available where corporates, from small businesses, as you say, to larger companies, can become involved to support Irish Chamber Orchestra per se, whether that's in terms of creative output or facilitating and enabling touring also, which is very, very, very important. And then in relation to our community outreach programs, those opportunities are also there. The Friends of ICO, that program is designed to specifically support the orchestra itself. So a very simple membership scheme. And again, Matthew, individuals and institutions, corporates can become involved and support in a very, very simple but impactful and meaningful way. And throughout the year, we run different campaigns. Our Christmas campaign has just concluded, and that's an annual campaign. And also, it's very important to me and us here at Irish Chamber Orchestra that we try to meet as much as possible the needs of potential funders, and indeed, of course, our existing and long-standing donors as well. So it's finding that synergy piece, and that's something that we value and we're committed to as well.
Joanne, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me, and good luck with 21 in 23.
Thank you, Matthew.